Yes, hello, welcome, folks. This is Mod Extra Games and Collectibles, and I've got yet another action figure review for you to consume and enjoy today. And as you can see on the screen here, we're going to be talking about Bishop from the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 wave that's just released. So stick around, I'm going to be giving you all the ins and outs, ups and downs, pros and cons of the figure as I see it. If you're thinking about picking one up for yourself, it's my hope that this video will help you make up your mind. And I'm going to give you it all. I'm going to talk about the aesthetic, what's the visual experience of the character like. I'm going to talk about the articulation. What's the scope and opportunity with posing and displaying the figure? And then finally, I'm going to talk about the accessories and added value. Have we got some nice goodies with this to help us with our man-child playtime? Or is it yet another Marvel Legends disappointment? Keep watching to find out. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Bishop. But before we do, let's travel back in time where you can see me unceremoniously tear open the packaging, the retro cardboard packaging with absolute impunity, minutes after this guy arrived on my doorstep. So let's go. All right then, folks, here is the Marvel Legends Bishop from the X-Men 97 wave. We can see, like with Magneto, that it's a card-backed figure. So we've got the card back there with the artwork on it, and then the figure itself in the blister pack with the added accessories. Once again, another overwhelming selection of added value included there. We can see the whole figure, though, which is quite nice. Artwork along the side here of Bishop in the animated series style, for obvious reasons. It's inspired by the 97 animated series reboot. Although I heard just a bit earlier on today that it's been delayed. It's not coming out until the early part of 2024 now, and it was due in winter this year. And then we got the other 6 characters in this wave, which are also advertised on the back. Yeah, there we go, digital render of the figure. The other 6 characters in the wave. Bishop and Magneto are the only 2 I've picked up from this wave, because I'm not one for repeating characters. And then all the legal bollocks and malarkey across the bottom, and that's it. Not much more else to say. It's a card-backed figure, you know. So let's get him open. I'm going to put my finger in this little hole here. Let's see if I can do a single pullback. Oh, so close, but not quite there. Here we go. Does that horrify you? Does that sicken you, the way I've done that? Oh, what's going on here? Right, okay, so we've got like his shotgun holster. There's like a cutaway in the back of the packaging there, so let's just keep an eye on that. So let's pull him out like so. Oh, the hands have already fallen out, and the paperwork. Yeah, got the hands and his little shotgunny thing. Get rid of that. So how's this work then? If I just pull that through there, is that just going to fit? Yeah, lovely jubbly. There we go. And there we go, folks. There's Bishop out the packaging with all his goodies. So I'm going to go away now, get good and hands-on with the figure, do some posing, try him out on some displays with my other Marvel Legends figures, get some living room carpet man-child playtime in and gather some thoughts. And I'll come back and share those thoughts in the review section of the video, starting in 3, 2, 1. All right then, folks, so I've brought Bishop nearer to the camera there so we can conduct a closer inspection of the visual experience, just get into the aesthetic qualities of the figure. And as always, I'm going to get started with the head sculpt up top here. And yeah, I like the head sculpt. It's a good, solid head sculpt. Clearly inspired by, an animated source material, which is fine because it is. So you can sort of see that kind of softer animated style tone to the whole visual experience, which is cool, which is okay. And I'm not one for, I don't mind mixing in animated look figures with comic book look figures. That doesn't bother me at all. So I'll just go for whatever. So that's fine. But on a practical level, it's a good face sculpt. The features are well sculpted. The paint applications are more or less well applied. The goatee, the lips, the eyes, the eyebrows, and of course the signature M for mutant tattoo across the side of the face there. And just while I've got him turned there, the little slight paint app mishap is down at the bottom of the goatee here. There's a tiny little bit of hair unpainted, but it's only really noticeable if you're a freakishly attention to detail driven YouTuber who has examined the figure far too closely for the purposes of making a YouTube review. So that's all lovely. Yeah, so it's a great head sculpt in that respect. I like the facial expression as well. It's serious. It's grave. It's solemn. This is a man who carries the weight of the knowledge of the dark future that may be coming in one of the many timelines, in the timey-wimey X-Men stuff. So that's all good and solid. I like that. It's not quite as bland and expressionless as we've seen on characters before from the line. The hair sculpt is obviously an interesting one, because I've picked this figure up as a Bishop because I just simply cannot afford to buy the mulleted version of the figure, the Marvel Legends figure, that is more classically 90s looking with respect to the sort of, the classic 90s X-Men comic books, and of course his look in the original animated series. Last time I saw it on eBay, it was like a ridiculous, like 100 quid or 120 quid, something like that. So the hair sculpt is a good solid hair sculpt. He's obviously sporting a new look in the X-Men 97 animated series, which is fine. It's it's okay, it's good, I like it. And I've been reading X-Men comics enough over the decades that I've seen a variety of different Bishop haircuts, so I'm cool and happy with that. And wow, Bishop may be sporting a new do on the old Barnet there for the new series. He's certainly kept the classic look uniform that we associate with the 90s character. The blue, the yellow, all definitely on point in terms of your mind's eye picture of a Bishop from back in the day. He's got the neckerchief there, nice colour red, great sculpting on that neckerchief too. Yeah, some lovely kind of sculpted shape and texture in there, although it's not particularly textured, but it's definitely got the shape, nice sculpted shape to it. The yellow's the right kind of yellow, the blue's the right kind of blue, it all works. He's got the black stripe up this part on his left-hand side. He's got the X-Men symbol on his belt, all on point. I appreciate that the boots and the gloves are different colours, different shades of blue, although are the gloves black? I don't know, I'm a little colourblind. I think the gloves are black and then the boots are a different shade of blue to the rest of the uniform, but it's framed up well with the shoulder pieces and the trimming on the sleeves and everything, so it's all working and definitely in line with both comic book look Bishop from the 90s, original 90s animated series, and of course, I'm hoping he's in line with the X-Men 97 animated series look. It's all assumption and conjecture at this point, but I'm hoping the Marvel Legends team got a little peek of something that was going to help him out. He's a big old beefy boy, is Bishop, and he's a muscle-bound fella. He's bulky, and you can see that in the sculpt. You've got really well sculpted musculature throughout the body. See there on his arms, across the torso area. He's got these muscle-y bits here that I don't even know what they are. What muscles are they? Rib muscles? What? I could look it up, I suppose. But he's got the six-pack, and you can see it in his thighs. He's got the bulky thighs. He's not been skipping on leg day. He's all over it. He's swole, is our Bishop. And when I compare him to a couple of other characters in a short while, you'll see the difference in scope and size, which is, again, great. Very comic book accurate and very cartoon accurate. He is a bulkier fella. And this big bulkier book, I don't know, is this a reuse? Someone will have to tell me in the comments whether this is from another figure we've already seen, but I'm liking this bulkier book. It gives me hope for a beefier Cable and maybe, God damn it, the Sabretooth that we've been desperately in need of for God knows how long. There's a few textured details as well in and around there just to give it a bit more depth. We can see some sort of creases and folds in the trouser legs here, just a bit of bunching up at the top of the boot and up here by the groin, so that's nice to see. A little bit of texturing in the rolled up section of the sleeves there, which I think every Marvel Legend should have a little bit of something going on just to give it a more textured feel, and yeah, Bishop's got it. There it is. So all round, Bishop is a solid thumbs up from me. He's just got everything I was looking for in terms of the aesthetic experience, the visual experience of the character. And so I'm very, very happy. I can look past the fact that he's not got a mullet for sure. He looks good in display with some of the other figures. Again, I'll show you a few examples of what I've been doing a bit later on in the vid. And yeah, just overall, soaking him in. I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. That's Bishop. Perfect. He's filling that gap in my collection that I so desperately wanted to fill, and filling it well. So, yeah, thumbs up on that front. All right, well, let's now have a bit of a chat about his articulation, shall we? And we'll get started, as always, with the shoulders and above. And let's have a look at the head. So it's a ball joint at the top of the neck there under the head, which gives us down to about there, gives us up to about there. Got the full Exorcist 360 and a little tiny bit of tilt and wobble there. Not a great deal of back and forth, though. The down's not fantastic either, but I'm not sure if that's because of his incredible jawline. But it's enough. It's enough. I've got him into some nice poses, doing some stuff with the movement in the head. It's fit for purpose, just about. Then into the shoulder, it's a hinge in the armpit there, so you can see you can get the T shape out of it, and then you've got the full 360 swivel, although that's obviously restricted and somewhat obstructed by these shoulder pieces here. So you can do it, but you can see there it's sort of doing the it's misshaping it, so I'm not going to force that. I'm going to put it back down there. No butterfly in the shoulder, which I think with a character, I like a butterfly on my gun-wielding shooty folks, and he's not got a butterfly, which I think is a little bit of an omission. You can debate that one out in the comments down below. I'm a fan of the butterfly joint for gun wielders, and no butterfly joint on this, which I think he could have done with. Then into the arms, we've got a swivel at the top of the bicep and tricep there. Nice pinless elbow that's getting us up to there. Then pegged hands in at the wrist, giving us the swivel. And each of the hands have got a hinge forward and back there as well. I'll show you in a bit where we get to accessories, but the other hand swaps have got ups and downs. But these two have got forwards and backs. Then moving down into the torso, you can see the diaphragm cut across the middle there. That gives us a nice ab crunch forward and a bit of ab crunch back, although it does do that weird thing, where it reveals the unsculpted section underneath. And then it's a cut across the waist there. It's obscured by the lower edge of this belt, so you can see you can swivel him around, but it doesn't give you... I'd rather have a ball in there. I like the newer ones with the... with the full wibbly wobbly, what they call ball joints in them, because that aesthetically looks weird. I don't like the way the cut works on the aesthetic. I think we're past that now. Marvel Legends, come on. Ball joints at the top of the legs in the groin there, giving us a good range of motion forward. Nothing much on the back because of the way the arse is sculpted. And he's got the Russian ballet moves there. There we go. Got the thigh cut there, giving us a swivel at the top of the thigh. Nice pinless double knee, getting us up to there. Swivel at the top of the boot, and then the classic hinge and rocker on the ankle. So, folks, I'd say the articulation is solid. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but less of an excited thumbs up than I gave the aesthetic visual experience. It's more of a kind of, it's solid, it's all right, it does the job. I'd like the butterfly joints in the shoulders. I'd like a better hip cut with the ball joint, but otherwise, I've managed to get him into some decent poses, done some fun stuff with him, and my man-child playtime over the last few days has been satisfying, and he looks great. I managed to get him into some nice poses with some of my other X-Men figures on the shelf. So yeah, the posability, the articulation is a thumbs up. I don't know, Marvel Legends, it's just not quite keeping pace, is it? It's not moving with the times, and is a little bit behind when it comes to things like the waists and the shoulders. So there we go. All right, okay, let's talk accessories and added value now then. So the accessories then is a short segment, this one, because while they're certainly on point and good accessories with regards to the character, it's not a large selection, sadly. So here's the first piece, is sort of shotgun laser. Well, it's kind of pistol-y in shape and size. So it definitely looks like how I remember it from the original animated series. So I would assume by this he's wielding the same piece of kit in the new 97 continuation. This kind of pump action, double-barreled thing there. So it's a single piece of moulded plastic. It's definitely got the gummy, wibbly-wobbly gun problem, and I had to heat that to get it somewhat straight, although it's still sort of curving up a bit there. Yeah, it's decent. It looks like how I picture the weapon to be, although is it a bit on the small side? I've not been and had a look at a picture or anything to compare, but I wonder if it's a little bit on the small side, like the one he wielded in the cartoon was chunkier, bigger, more shotgunny in style. But yeah, it's cool, it's futuristic, it's a laser pump action shotgun thing, it's nice. And this has on-figure storage, which I love. We've got this shoulder holster here on his back, which it slides into nicely like so. Although it is a bit kind of weird and uncomfortably positioned. I don't know why they didn't put something flat, but I'm assuming, again, that's there and looking like that in an effort to be cartoon accurate to how he has it in the new X-Men 97 cartoon. Time will tell. Then we have a couple of trigger finger hand swaps, one for each arm there. These are pretty standard trigger finger, design style, in the same black sort of leather gloves that he's wearing in the other hands, so that you can have him wielding that shotgunny pistol thing in either of his two hands, whichever tickles your fancy. Just a little note on the hand swaps there, something I noticed the other day. This little black wrist edge of the glove comes off like so. It's a separate piece to the rest of the hand, and it fits around the wrist like that. So just be careful that you don't end up losing those, or start taking some photos and thinking, something doesn't look right. And you're staring at it for ages going, why doesn't it look right? And then you realise they don't look right because that piece is missing, but you don't know where it's gone. And you're on your hands and knees at a time in your life when you've lost your glasses and you've got a bad old man back and bad old man knees and bad old man eyes, and you have to get your two children to find it for you. Not that I'm talking from experience or anything. So the accessory selection is all right. The gun for a start is a big part of the visual identity of the character. We associate him as a weapon wielder, so that's all good. And so the trigger fingers are kind of leaning into the tooled up nature of Bishop's character. I just think the main omission really is that we've got this sort of open palmed sort of energy power hand and no energy power. And I think one simple addition, like a glowing pinky purple ring to put around his hand or something to reflect his energy absorption ability, would have been a nice addition. And that would have been it. I'd have been quite happy with the pistol, the hands, and then just that extra little bit of something like maybe a resculpt of... well, we've had a bucket ton of stuff in the past, haven't we? I'd have been happy with reuse. Because, it's all about his gun and not enough about his mutant abilities. So, but otherwise, it's fine. Is it light? Would I have liked more? Yes, I would. What would I have wanted? I don't know, bazillion things. 2 extra heads. A fist for both hands. I always want more. And it is light for the price. I'm not going to labour the point on that one. But I'm still going to give the accessories a thumbs up, but with small prints and caveats. It's figure comparison time now then, folks, and here is the new animated Bishop with the VHS animated series Wolverine. I don't think the cell shading makes them stand too distinctly apart, although it is there, and you can see it if you want to see it. So there you go. There's a classic X-Men pairing for you. Here's Bishop with the animated VHS line Cyclops. Just kind of threw that in so you could see the difference in the two books there. Is this the Vulcan? Is this the Vulcan body? The new Vulcan body? I think it is. I don't know. I don't follow these things closely, but you can see the difference in bulk and scale there. Here's Bishop with the retro card back Beast, the new release from earlier in this year, just so you can kind of see him next to another larger X-Men character. And finally, I like to throw a villain in the mix, so here is Bishop with the Magneto from the X-Men 97 release from the very same wave. Also, that's a sneak peek at another upcoming review. So overall, folks, I'm happy with my Bishop. I've wanted a Bishop in my X-Men display for quite a while now. I haven't been able to afford one on the secondary market. This is exactly the type of re-release that folks like me who left the Marvel Legends game and then came back to the Marvel Legends game are looking for. And he's got everything I want aesthetically. He's definitely hitting the mark. So I'm pleased. I'm happy. I've had good, solid man-child playtime. I've had some great fun posing him up with my X-Men villains, my Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and his fellow teammates, and making little displays and stuff. It's been a good time. Are Marvel Legends a little bit behind on articulation when you compare it to things like G.I. Joe Classified or that Jada Toys Ryu that I picked up recently? Whew, you know what I mean? Are they a bit behind? Yes they are. But you can get some decent stuff going on. He's going shooty blasty, and you can make him look nice and actiony and dynamic. So hey, it works. And it only serves to get me increasingly more excited. Although maybe a little bit anxious for the new X-Men 97 animated series. Please, Disney, will you just get it right with this one? Because I don't know about you folks, but I don't think they've been getting it right much lately, have they? With our beloved properties. So please get this one right, Disney. So I'm excited for it, but also I've got a little sense of dread about it as well. So there we are. All right, well, I'll wrap that one up there. Thank you so very much for coming and watching my review. There's a bazillion YouTube reviewers out there of action figures, and I'm just, blessed and honoured that you chose mine. So thank you so very much. And if you have found it helpful, if it has helped you make your mind up as to whether Bishop is the figure for you, then please take a moment to hit that thumbs up like down below. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel too, so you don't miss out on future reviews of this nature. It only takes you a second, and it means ever so much for me. So, yeah, that's it. Gracious thanks and all that. And I think I'm going to wrap it all there before it goes too far around. Yeah, thanks very much, folks. Have a great day. I'll see you around sometime soon. Ta-ra now.